And we are joined now by our local political expert, Woodrow Wilson Wagner. And thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. And
thank you.
Going to kind of talk about what this means. You know, we've had several percentage points higher turnout for early voting. What does that tend to mean for election day voting, when we look at those final numbers?
Yeah, I think it means that there's a lot more enthusiasm and excitement this time around. We have more competitive races. We have more races that have actual candidates instead of just people that are running by themselves. And I think in terms of the day of election today, we might see higher numbers with that as well. Usually a lot of the numbers are going to come in that early voting in the mail, but as I'm looking around today, driving around polling places, I'm seeing a lot of folks active today. And I think there's a lot of voter enthusiasm and excitement as reflected by that 3% increase from 2022, that we have almost 4,000 more early votes this time around. So I expect those numbers to translate in a similar way to today's voting as well.
All right, so it's, we won't get those first numbers as far as the tallies of the ballots until after the polls close after 7 o'clock. But what are the first races that you're going to kind of take note of and see, where those numbers stand?
I think Texas Senate, and on both sides of the aisle, you have a Democratic primary, you have a Republican primary, and I think many people are curious how those are going to end. You have James Tallarico, who has gotten lots of attention. Some people call him Beto 2.0. You've got him versus an established congressional candidate, Miss Jasmine Crockett. Then on the Republican side, you have the long-serving Senator John Cornyn against the Texas Attorney General, Mr. Ken Paxton, both very huge figures in Texas, but there can only be one on both sides, and it's going to be real interesting to see how both those turn out tonight.
Yeah. What about with the new congressional maps and the state representative, or the U.S. representative with the new maps?
That's a great question. This will be our first test to see, are the demographics different because this time around the lines around those districts are different? I tend to think that the same people who voted, whether the lines were here or there, are still going to turn out in some way or the other. And I don't expect too much shift in terms of partisan or different parties taking districts this time around necessarily. And we'll see how it all kind of unfolds. I mean, we can speculate, but the great thing about tonight, we have to wait and see, count the votes, and see what happens.
All right, so just about out of time. We have about 10 seconds, but is there anything locally that could kind of have a ripple effect and have more of a larger effect on the state and national field?
Yeah, I think one of the things I notice locally is that we have a lot of propositions that are on the ballot. And just to clarify for viewers, propositions are not laws. You're not voting for those things to become law tonight. They're trial balloons, they're surveys for the parties to see where the voters feel on issues. And that might then inform what happens in November in terms of the things that people are really caring about. So I'm anxious to see how those results come out.
All right, we'll definitely be watching. And Woodrow is going to be with us throughout the night on all of our newscasts. So he'll be helping us kind of break down those numbers and see what everything looks like and helping us to interpret all of that. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.